Crabs. Before showing you exactly how these crustaceans become a tasty delicacy, we must clarify one important thing. The body of the crab is not fully edible. The most delicious and popular meat is that of the legs, the claws, and the part where the legs are attached to the shell. For this reason, before the crab is ready for consuming, it has to be carefully prepared. The process of cutting the crab involves separating the legs from the body, the shell, and the tail. The procedure can be done by hand, but this is not profitable for big companies. The fact is that the body of the crab is quite rigid, and it requires considerable effort to cut it. For this reason, manual work is just too slow. In addition, it's necessary to perform the cutting correctly, so the amount of finished products depends largely on the skills and professionalism of the worker. The only way to increase productivity and produce crabs non-stop and in large quantities is using specialized machines. Interestingly, the modern market offers different models with different operating principles. This machine, for example, handles the entire cycle, from cutting to extracting the meat. In the first stage, the smart system finds the crab, determines its size, and sends a command to the robotic arm. It uses a circular saw to separate the legs from the body. They can be separated individually or by sections. In the second stage, the machine extracts the meat from the legs. Here we have a more compact machine, manufactured by the American company Ryko. And although it's only a cutting machine, it does a great job. In this case, the operator has to feed the crabs into the machine. Special supports hold the crab by the legs and then separate them from the body. The last step is cleaning the joint between the legs and the body. The advantage of this machine is that it works with crabs of various sizes. The width of the shell can vary from 90 to 180 millimeters. 45 crabs can be cut in 1 minute. Salmon. If you've always wondered how this product reaches the supermarket shelves, we have the answer. Here's a whole production line made up of a large number of different machines. They take turns processing the fish to create the fresh, neat pieces we buy. The salmon arrives at the factory in one piece. Although the inside of the fish has already been removed, the workers take the boxes out of the reefer, open them, and then place the fish on a conveyor belt. The conveyor belt runs between all the machines and is responsible for moving the raw material from one processing stage to another. In this case, the cutting is done both manually and automatically. However, people perform the easier tasks, while complex machines are much more efficient for the more difficult tasks. Here, for example, the worker places the fish on a machine that separates the head from the body in a matter of seconds. The powerful mechanisms guarantee a high productivity, even despite the rigidity of the spine. Up to 20 fish are processed per minute. In the next step, each salmon is split in half, after which the extra parts are removed by hand. We're talking about the thin stomach, the back, and the tail. But removing pin bones from the fillets is a much more difficult job, so it's done with machines. They are also used to peel the fillets. All that's left is washing the fish. After that, the pieces are packed and sent to the store. If you wanted to cut the fillets, another step is added to the production process. This task is performed by a machine called the FlexiCut. The machine has various configuration options, and the worker can select the type of cut. In any case, the productivity is amazing. 36 fillets per minute. Interestingly, the cut is made with a powerful and thin water jet. Caviar. To find out what equipment is used to produce caviar, we'll visit an old sturgeon farm located in Calvisano in Italy. Here, machines and people work side by side to supply the shops with black caviar of one of the best brands in the world. It all starts with the fish. Previously, to produce caviar, sturgeons were caught in the wild, for example in the Caspian Sea. The great demand eventually led to a sharp decline in the fish's population. For this reason, today in many countries, the only caviar that can be sold is produced by a sturgeon grown on special farms. The high price of the product is partly due to the fact that sturgeons are only suitable for caviar collection when they're between 7 and 10 years old. There are several ways to extract the caviar from the belly too. Some keep the females alive, but in this case the fish are simply cut up. The eggs are removed from the belly by hand. After washing the caviar with cold water, it's filtered with a special sieve. This process allows the workers to separate the eggs. The next step is a thorough examination. The worker removes any foreign particles, even small ones. The product is then salted and packed. Interestingly, even if two fish were born on the same day and raised in the same conditions, their caviar can be very different. For this reason, caviar from different fish are never mixed. Tuna. The production of canned fish is a fairly long and complex process, divided into a number of stages. Canned tuna is no exception. Almost all stages involve the use of a specialized machine. The fish fillets pass from one machine to another, gradually reaching the right condition for sale and consumption. The fish arrive at the factories frozen in a container. At first, all the fish are sorted by size, then a quality control procedure is carried out. Only then does the production of canned tuna begin. Workers separate the head and the tail from each fish. Then the body is divided into several parts. The next step is the heat treatment. Batches of fish are placed in a cooker, where they are steamed for 1 hour at a temperature of almost 100 degrees Celsius. The fish is then cut by hand. Bones and other unnecessary parts are removed. A special machine cuts the meat into small pieces. This is the product that finally reaches the cans. The machines used in the production can fill on average up to 110 cans per minute. The high working rate provided by the machines allows for great profitability. Shrimp. The story here is more or less the same as with caviar. The practice of catching shrimp in the wild has been mostly abandoned. Instead, special farms are created, where the growth and quality of these creatures are carefully controlled. The shrimp that has just been caught is immediately sent to the production plant in containers filled with ice. They are first cleaned in an industrial bath with water bubbles. Dirt and sand particles then settle at the bottom. The total mass is divided into batches, from which several specimens are randomly selected for microbiological analysis. If the batch is approved, it's sent to the production room. The video shows the work of the Nak Foods factory in India, where the raw material is processed mostly manually. First, the workers separate the heads from the carcasses. Then these shrimp are washed, automatically sorted according to size, and sent to the second processing stage. Here, if needed, the shell or the vein can be removed to ensure that the processed shrimp have better color, texture and flavor and remain fresh for longer. Each batch is subjected to a salt bath. From this point on, the product is frozen and packed.
Hey, stop being lazy, it's time to use that brain of yours. Welcome to Brain Time. Incredible facts from the past, the present, and even the future. The power of nature and wild animals, amazing facts and unsolved mysteries. You'll find all this and much more here. Subscribe now, you won't regret it.